Welcome back to the Stop Snitchin podcast. It is Nathan. It is Brandon. It is
Sir.
BCTV Media. It is B-Rock. He's known by many names, different languages at this point, across the globe.
Languages.
So
Different cultures, though.
Pitbull used to be Mr. 305, but now it's
he's still Mr. 305. Trust me.
So I want to start this episode off because I think everybody wants to know. I think I'm just going to start off every episode now with the Travel Chronicles.
Right. Where was the last place you
Where was the last place?
Where were you this week?
Where was Brandon this week? Give the people a little breakdown.
It's called... what did Jay say? Twin McGotty's outside the Art Basel. I just want to live life colossal. You was at Art Basel, baby.
Art Basel. Is it Basel? Is that how you say it?
So that's the thing. Like, I've heard Basel, Basel. So it's like everybody has their own interpretation.
Yeah.
I think Basel is like the most sophisticated, though.
All right, so we're going with that.
Basel is like...
Art Basel.
Yeah, Lux.
2021. Miami, Florida.
Miami.
BCTV Media, North 13th.
Facts.
Earn your leisure.
Facts.
What's going down out there, bro?
Man, so EYL had their activation out there. So they partnered with United Masters, which is Steve Stout's... I don't know what to call it. It's not a record. I think it's a record label, but it's like based off independence. So
Steve Stout, is he an A&R? I know that name.
He's like a record executive, just like overall executive and just dope guy. Mm-hmm. But he has United Masters, which is a platform where, you know, artists can upload their music and they get most of the... You know, they get their masters, which is important. And obviously with their masters comes the royalties, and you're not like splitting it 50-50 with the record label, like whatever. Like, so the point of it is the artist gets their just due. So it's kind of that platform. And then they also are partnered with Ally Bank, which is I think it's based out of Detroit, I want to say. I think their headquarters is in Detroit, but that's the bank that also sponsors either their main podcast or another podcast that they have called Market Mondays. So like,
it's in conjunction with
it's in conjunction. Okay. So they already had it as a sponsor, but now they're just coming together for Art Basel and creating this activation. And the activation was centered around obviously financial literacy, but also independence. So you get the financial literacy part from Ally, the independence part from United Masters, and then EYL is kind of like the perfect mix of both because they're independent and they're talking about financial literacy. So it kind of like made sense. Okay. And the event was called Earn Your Masters. Okay. Yeah. So it kind of like all meshed together. So they were there. We were there 3 days. The first day they interviewed Kai. I don't know his last name, but he is like the marketing genius behind FaZe Clan, and we all know what FaZe Clan is, but he's like the guy that's making...
Say it. See if we can give this man an official title.
We need him because he's definitely...
Is it KAI?
Yeah, KAI.
Okay, Kai FaZe Clan.
Yeah, Kai FaZe Clan. Let's Google it real quick.
Okay, let me see here. Kai FaZe Clan. Kai Henry. He's the chief strategy officer.
Yeah, chief strategy officer of FaZe Clan. So he's the one... He's the reason why we see FaZe Clan as we do, especially in media. Like, he's developing all of those strategies, and obviously, FaZe Clan is like about to be part of a SPAC, so they're about to become public. Like, obviously,
the gaming, it's like a gaming. I only know like FaZe Banks.
At this point, it's kind of like a media conglomerate, but it's centered around the gaming industry.
Okay. He's managed. It says in the past he's managed artists like Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, and Quincy Jones. He's co-founded lifestyle YouTube platform. Ski TV. He co-founded that.
Yeah, he said that in the interview, and I was like, oh dang, okay.
Wow, I've definitely watched a lot of that.
Yeah. He said he did that around 2010. So he's like kind of like a veteran.
Very interesting.
He's very young though, but he's like been around. So I'm sure he probably started managing people when he was like super young.
So it says FaZe Clan was founded in 2010 and includes 8 competitive esports teams, which is what I know them as well as talent roster of content creators and gamers such as Brian Awadis, known as FaZe Rug, who's like a super big YouTuber. Yep. And he starred in the company's original film Crimson last year. So yeah, they're definitely branching out into like a bunch of different stuff.
And now they're about to be a part of this SPAC, SPAC, that's going to help them, go public and IPO. $1 billion valuation.
Jeez, drop the B.
Yeah. I mean, the gaming has always been a big deal, but now because of like so many outlets like Twitch and like you could stream it, you could play it, and then people go on YouTube and watch somebody streaming and playing it. Like, it's this whole thing. So
young guy?
Huh?
Young guy? He looks pretty young. I want to
say 30s, maybe early 40s. Like, he looks young. Okay. Like, I don't know his exact age, but he looks really, really young. He's got like young energy. Yeah, he was cool.
Okay.
So, that was the first day. Then,
drop the
Friday.
Ball,
they interviewed
Flex, bro.
Another one.
DJ Khaled. We the best. So I was just listening to DJ Khaled in the car. Let's go.
Literally, before we went to Miami, we have like our group chat with them. Like, we'll send them all of like the videos through there or whatever.
The EYL guy?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant with DJ Khaled. I was like, what? You dropping that? You got Khaled's contact now?
So we got our group chat, and then Rashad, he's like, yo, Khaled on Friday, Shine on Saturday, the biggest. I'm like, wait, what? Because before we didn't, like, we knew that they were interviewing people, but we didn't know who. And then they're like, yeah, Khaled on Friday, Shine on Saturday, the biggest. I'm like, all right, bet. So, like, you hear, like, and saying that to say, like, it's a big deal. Like, we see Khaled, like, on social media. Like, he's a big deal.
No lie, we joked before, he probably is Mr. 305.
Yo, he
for
is.
real. Yeah, like, Miami shit, he's got to be it.
So being able to get Khaled was huge because, Art Basel is like, I don't know, like, how long it's been going, but obviously it's like this huge deal now. Louis Vuitton's down there. Like, there's so many activations, so to have heavy hitters like that come through your activation, right, about independence, about financial literacy. Like, it's not about fashion. It's like literally about financial literacy.
That's what Khaled was there to talk about?
Yeah. So that's when anybody that goes on their podcast, they're talking about financial literacy. Like, they're talking about business. Like, what moves are they making?
So without fucking up their content, like, what are the broad strokes of what Khaled talked about?
He actually gave a really good interview. Like, I went into it thinking he was just going to do like the motivational stuff, his go-to. But he actually gave a lot of game on times when, around the time when he found Snapchat, like, he was down bad. Like, he told the story where at the time he wasn't flying at all, right? Like, he had a period where prior to like 2016, 17, he wouldn't fly. He would drive everywhere. And this was around the time when, I think, like, I always look at Khaled like songs that define eras. So, like, I'm On one was like, what, 2011, 2012,
2010 maybe.
Yeah, he was on Cash Money. That relationship soured, so then he became independent, which is, even for somebody like Khaled, it's a lot. You gotta put up your own money,
a lot of money to
and
do
you're
that.
at that level where it needs to look a certain way. So there's a lot of money going out. So around this time, I think it was the album I Changed a Lot. Like, he was like, I changed. A lot.
Yeah, I just
like,
think
that was around that time.
I remember him talking about this on Hot 97.
Yeah, that was like the interview.
That was a great interview.
Yep.
And he did. And Ebro was shocked by that too. Mm-hmm. He was like, wait, you were independent, putting up all your own money?
Yep.
Oh, I don't know if that album is correct, but you're right. It's that timeline.
Yep.
And he was like, yeah, man. He's like, I independent, all my own money. He literally, I mean, you could probably tell me if it's true. Like, he literally put all of his money into that record. Like, it was make or break.
And the crazy part was that was like one of his least selling records. But that's when Snapchat came into play. Like, he found Snapchat at that time. And at that time, he was talking about how he started flying, and he had to fly. He had to go to a private jet. Like, he needed 7 rooms because of his team. So he would come back home and not even have made any money, because he's trying to build this buzz up independently. Whereas when you're on a record label, they kind of do it for you.
Right.
And it's an engine. But they, like, split everything. Like, that's the thing. Like, they take a lot of the money away.
Oh, so when it's independent, right? You're putting up more money, but you're gonna make more money. But the album's gotta hit.
Yeah, it's gotta go. Hit. It's gotta go. But when it does, it's like it's just different. Which is where he's at now. Like he like that at that point in time, he was going through like that rough patch of like, all right, what is it being independent like? Da 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 da. And once he finally hit it, and then once he found Snapchat and he started doing the jet skis, like it just kind of opened up a whole new thing because. He also talked about how people knew him. Like, we all know DJ Khaled. Like, he was going to have a crazy song that we all knew, but we didn't know him. No, we didn't see this character. Like, we only heard it, really, on the records, but we didn't see it. Snapchat gave us the opportunity to, like, see it, like, incorporating his family with Assad and Alam and...
Yeah, Khaled kind of turned into, like, a personality.
Exactly.
More than music.
Yeah, he's like a celebrity.
It was like an appearance.
Yep, yeah. Exactly. Like, he's just a big-time personality.
And he's... hilarious.
Yeah, no, he's actually like that.
He's actually funny as hell.
Like he's actually like that, and like I've seen a lot of interviews, and I've just heard just like that. The way he is on Snapchat is how he is in real life, and I could tell like he's just got this cool energy about him. He's got his phrases. Like right now, he's on his pillow huggers phrase. He's like, yo, you can't be a pillow hugger. You can't be, when you down and out, you can't be like slobbing on the pillow at night. Da 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 da. Like he's on that, okay. Right? But it's funny though because it's just him.
Yeah.
But like you see people like his camera guy Ivan, he was there, so it's cool to meet him because you see these guys.
Flora, is that Ivan?
Ivan Barrios.
Barrios. Yeah. Yes.
So you meet all these people through Instagram, and you see them in person. It's like, oh, that's what's up. It's dope. Like you can recognize people, which is the power of social media. And what Khaled's been able to do is, obviously, he's been able to put out a lot of anthems in his time, but like this social media is probably taking him to a whole nother level because now it's brand deals, it's Jordan, it's like just all these kind of different businesses that stem from it. So that's kind of like what he talked about.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was a good interview, man. Like when it drops, I think people are going to learn a lot about one, the independent grind, and two, like how to leverage your brand in so many different ways and how to brand yourself and how that can lead to like strategic partnerships and
Khaled is like the perfect example of like, it sounds corny but don't give up.
Facts.
Like from a radio, like he was one of the hottest radio DJs in Miami, period. Then started to do these records. Like I don't think it was like albums. I think he just started to do like that like Gangsta Grills type like kind of mixtape, like put people together. And then I don't know what his first like huge break was.
I was listening to like, I'm So Hood.
Dude, literally in the car today. This is DJ Khaled on Spotify is one. It has to be one of my most played things. Like anthems, bro. Bangers, We Taking Over. I was listening to Go Hard.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm So Hood. There's that song Fed Up with Usher and Drake.
Yeah.
I'm So Paid. Like I go all the way back to that. I think that's like some of the best stuff.
Yeah,
but then
I think
you still come back to what's that song with Justin Bieber and 21 Savage? Let It Go?
Yeah, Let It Go or something.
Yeah, something like that. Like he puts people together like that I don't think could really work.
Yeah.
But it somehow does. And then he has like the I'm the One.
Yeah. Yeah, big time.
Jeez.
Big time.
You kidding me?
Khaled's like an orchestrator, man. Like, he's not, like, there's this, like, nerdy music talk of, like, the difference between a producer and a beat maker. And, like, a producer is somebody who puts the plan together, like, brings all the elements together. You don't necessarily have to, like, hit the beat machine to be a producer. Like, Diddy doesn't personally produce, but he brings it together. It's like the vibe. This person would sound good here. Say it like this. This is what I want. This is what's gonna hit. Like Khaled's like that, and obviously his energy is infectious. So it's like you kind of want to work with him, and like when you do work with him, it's going to be a smash. He's kind of got that reputation.
Well, now he's probably good for more than one a year. He's probably good for like two, hits.
Definitely some in the summer. He's always going to drop with Drake or whatever. Right. Like But
it's a cheat code, but he does. I do give him that like. Well, no. Here's the thing. Like, if you really like that, like I genuinely there are songs that are album cuts on Khaled's albums that I like. You ever hear They Ready? Big Crit, Kendrick Lamar, maybe Cole. Like that never got real radio play like that. That's one of my I still give that song spins right now. Mm-hmm. Like, he does stuff like that. Mm-hmm. There's still, like, other hits, but I still think that he has an amazing ability to put people together. Yep. And for whatever reason, I think all the artists know that when you're on the Khaled album, you don't know what the hit is going to be. So you have to give him the A1 verse. Yeah, like, there's no BS on this. Not that artists, well, I'm sure some artists do that, but, like, you don't know where you're going to fall. Yeah. That's what I'm interested in, is, like, does 21 Savage know he's on the song with Justin Bieber? Or does he just get the beat and then it ends up being the song with Justin
think they
Bieber?
Do. I'm sure, like, there's conversations around that, like, they want to know you're going to be on this with JB, like, it's going to be one of them ones. Yeah. I think he has to, like, I'm sure when they did I'm the One, they were like, all right, this is going to go. Justin Bieber, Quavo at the time was, like, the hottest thing. Put Lil Wayne on there, like... They know, you know, and then I feel like he tells them beforehand so they can go into it like, you got to approach it like this. Yeah. You know, your verse can't be, it could be hard, but not too hard because this is going to radio. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, don't give me that, March Madness craziness. Like, I need this.
But yeah, man, like, Khaled was dope. I mean, you know, he did typical celebrity stuff. Like, they had, like, a private area in the back. Every other day, people were allowed back there. When Khaled came, nobody was allowed back there. Everybody had to be maxed up. Like, just totally different. But when you're on that level, man, like, you got to protect yourself at all times. Like, because it was crazy. Like, that event venue probably could hold, like, maybe 200 people. There was, like, 500 people in line, 600 people trying to get in. Like, that, wow. It was packed out. Like, you could, like, I could barely, like, move around, like, just to film. Like, I could barely just squeeze by people, like, so, I mean.
And real quick, for people who don't, like, kind of know how this type of thing works, like, when you say an activation, it just means that it's a location that is essentially rented out exclusively for content creation for X, Y, or Z
whatever
person.
Marketing, advertising, like,
but like showrooms do that. Fashion weeks do that. It's an activation, so it's like 3-4 days where it's only people working there, press, the event, but like it's shut down just for this thing. It can be as big as a hotel, it can be as big as a room, whatever. Like Art
sometimes
Basel.
a whole street. There's a whole street for sometimes
for a
like,
movie.
If you're Louis Vuitton, it's like a whole block.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Like, it just depends on the brand, and the point of the activation is to obviously promote whatever you have going on. So you'll see like the step and repeats, you'll see the photo booths, like you'll see like, you know, Ally had like a specific drink that they were like having the bartenders make. Like it's cool to see it come together and see like ideas come into play, you know, that kind of integrate into like what's happening. So it was cool. Packed, but it was cool.
You like Miami?
Of course, yeah. Miami's a vibe.
Miami's dope.
Yeah, Miami's dope.
I could never live there. But Miami is like, if we're going with like a warm place, I would go to Miami before I go to California.
Oh, that's a fact.
What? I'd be in Florida for sure before I go all the way to California.
It's pretty open, and it's a cool vibe. You know, everybody's just kind of like on their own kind of time. Like nobody's too aggressive out there. It's laid back. Yeah. I mean, the traffic is crazy at all times at night. That's the only thing about Miami. It's like it could be 4 a.m. and it's at a standstill, especially like right now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but nah, it's definitely a vibe, man. Nothing beats South Beach. You know, we didn't get to go, but like just in general, like South Beach is amazing. Hotels.
Talk to me about being a drop top Rolls Royce B.
Oh man,
like
that was crazy.
I saw you out the back of a Suburban, out the top of the sunroof. Yo. Next thing I know, boom, he's eating breakfast. Boom, he's in the back of the Rolls Royce.
Facts.
What?
Yo, so the guys rented the Rolls Royce drop top,
and he drove himself here, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get it twisted. He still drive himself.
Nissan Sentra, baby. Nissan Sentra, dog. Look, man, but the guys rented drop top Rolls Royce with the bloody guts on the inside. Crazy.
They got that thing from Enterprise?
I hope so. Shout out Enterprise, man. I hope they did. But then they got another, then, you know, they obviously got the black Suburban, you know, standard.
Have to.
And we were just getting shots, man. So I like, the guy that was driving a Suburban opened his sunroof. I just like stood up there, got some video of the guys. Like, it was cool, man. It's Miami, and it's like the best part about it is nobody looks at you like you're crazy, because it's like they probably see this all the time.
This is what's happening.
Yeah, it's just it is what it is. Like, if we do that here, it's like that's like what's getting all the attention. Yeah. Like, but LA, Miami, even Atlanta, like, it's just kind of like standard. Like, this is what people do. You know, it's kind of like one of those cities. Funny, man. But nah, I mean, it's definitely a different feeling being in the Rolls Royce, though. Like, you just feel like you made it. Like,
but I think it's funny, like, you see those cars and then you're in situations like that in a space where you can literally pull up to a red light and you're next to someone else in a Rolls Royce.
Oh, fact. Yeah. Like, it's just commonplace.
Miami, California, it's just like another car.
Yeah,
like,
it's commonplace.
Yeah, right. In New Jersey, that's different.
It's like,
so when you're there, you're like, oh, I kind of feel like I'm one of everyone else when I'm here in this ridiculous car.
To us, it's still like, dang, that's a Lambo, that's this. Yeah. But like, it's just kind of like, it's just everybody has it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, especially in that area.
Yeah, I've always said like being in a Rolls Royce or being in a Bentley, something like a car like that, like a town car, even like an S-Class Mercedes, something like bigger, is way better. Like, if you have never sat or been near a Lamborghini, it's literally like driving a car laying down in bed. It's so low.
Yeah.
It's impossible to get in and out of. Like, I don't know how NFL players get Lamborghinis. Like, how does Ben Simmons drive a Ferrari?
Right.
It's crazy. It must be custom. It has to be.
It has to be. Yeah.
Because you're 7 feet tall. Yeah. I'm 5'10". Yeah. And I can't get in and out of a 3 Series BMW like that. Like, I'm still like, oh my God, you got to get in and out. Like, if you got the money, bro, get something that you can step into. Right. If you have to like lay in your car to drive it, I'm not a fan. Yeah. It's just crazy to me.
Yeah, Lamborghinis.
And those are cars you get driven in. That's what's up.
Right.
What? You think I got this rich so I can drive myself around?
That's why people get the Suburban or like the Range Rovers. Like, it's just a different level out there, man. And the thing is, it's like they didn't necessarily have to rent a car, but it's just like, yo, like, sometimes you just gotta look back and just realize like where you're at and just do things. You know what I'm saying? As long as it makes sense, like, why not go and rent it? It's not like you're owning it. Like,
these are people who are smart with their money. I'm sure.
Yeah, like, it's like whatever.
Rental. Like,
I'm sure that was a tax write-off in some way. I could bet on it. But yeah, man. Khaled was really, really dope, and then Shine was yesterday, which was Saturday. The 5th.
What is today?
No, the 4th. Today's the 5th.
I was gonna say, I don't even know. Yeah. December. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Shout out Hov for his birthday.
Is today's birthday?
4th? Nah, yesterday.
Oh, yesterday
December 4th. Shout out to the guy. Oh my God, bro. So like, the Shine thing was amazing, but just being next to Just Blaze doing a DJ set, yo, it's crazy because like the first night Manny Fresh DJ'd, right? So like, everybody knows Manny Fresh. Not that many people there, you know, unfortunately. Like, and it's not that he's not a big deal. It's that Art Basel is like, there's so much going on. Like, right down, like, literally, like, you would take 2 steps to the right and there's like this huge concert going on while they're doing the interview. So it's like, there's so much going on. So the first night Manny Fresh DJ'd and not that many people were there. The second night, DJ Irie DJ was just like, he's a big time guy out of Miami. But when Just Blaze pulled up, everybody stayed. It was lit.
Bro, when I think of Just Blaze, all I think of is Just Blaze, Lord knows.
Just Blaze.
It's your first night or whatever that Drake bar is right there. That's what I think of every time I hear Just Blaze.
Yeah, that's crazy because the host was like, man, I ain't even gonna introduce him. We all introduce him. Everybody say Just Blaze on 3. 1, 2, 3. Just Blaze. And then he started playing, and then he went into PSA, and I'm going crazy. Up with it? Yeah.
Brandon's like, I'm not even recording. Fuck that. We out here.
Bro, we were on stage for 2 hours. Like,
he did a 2-hour DJ set?
Yeah, just basically Jay-Z records.
I know, you were
the whole time. I was singing every song, bro. Everyone. Like, I was like, dog, he just played this, and then he went into this, and I'm rapping line.
You remember when he went? What was after PSA? You remember?
Yeah, you don't know. That's what I put on my story. I'm like, yo, this is how we're starting, and then like people started crowding around, and like it was just a vibe, bro. Like no matter what he played, everybody was going in, and he even said at one point, like, yo, like y'all are some of the most knowledgeable people music wise that I've been around. I did not expect you to know all these records. So then he starts playing like album cut records, and we're still going there. Then he's like, nah, this is an unreleased record, Busta Rhymes, da da da. He played that.
What?
Elliot Wilson was there.
Sheesh, talk about
Elliot Wilson was freaking there, bro. And he's vibing. Like Elliot was there for a long time because he was there for the Shine interview, and then he stayed for Just Blaze, so he was rocking. Sure, he
stayed for Just Blaze.
Yeah,
that's
but
like all the music he cares
That's
about.
a big deal because he could have went anywhere. Like he was there for like 5 hours, bro, just rocking.
Come on, bro. Who else is DJing like that you want to go listen to?
Crazy, bro.
That isn't like an EDM artist or something like that, like a different lane.
And then this man Just Blaze had the audacity to be like, man, the controller on the DJ thing is broke. I'm not even going in right now. And everybody's like, wait, what? You're not going in? Like, we're all just vibing crazy. I'm like, imagine if everything was, like, perfectly set up, like, what he would have done. But, nah, that was definitely a legendary moment, bro. Legendary.
Wow.
9 to 11 o'clock. He was on there rocking.
Went crazy.
So, yeah, man, Art Basel 2021 was a vibe. It was a movie. I think the guys just dropped the Day 3 recap video he did. So, I had to do recaps of every day, which is hard, but like when you're like, I think that goes into like this Miami thing. Like you just felt motivated being there, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we would shoot from 3 to like 11, get back to the hotel like 11:30, 12, and then I'll just edit until like 3 a.m. They release it the next day. United Masters drops it the next day. Do the same thing the next day, then same thing today.
Are you sleeping?
I did not sleep. Yeah, I did not sleep.
For like 2-3 days?
Yeah, I barely slept. Yeah, it was like, that was the routine when I was down there. Like, 3 to 11, we're shooting. Get back to the hotel at like 12. Maybe take like 10 minutes to just cool out and then just edit. So, like, just edit for like 2 to 3 hours. Probably get done around 3. You know what I'm saying? Go to sleep for a little. Then just do the same thing the next day.
And go crazy.
The next day, yeah.
Was Art Basel one of your like more like on your list of like events you actually got to go enjoy? Is it one of your more favorite things that you've gotten to go do?
Yeah, sometimes it's hard when you're working to enjoy it, but it's like it was just dope, man. It was free. Like working with EYL, they just let me do whatever pretty much. So it's no pressure. You know, I'm just creating. You know, you meet all these people. The best part about it is when people acknowledge you. Like, because I'm not, like, front and center. So, like, when people acknowledge me, I'm like, dang, like, that's what's up.
Oh, like, they know you?
Yeah. That happens a lot now. Like, you got to understand, these guys are about to hit 1 million followers on Instagram.
Right.
And they shout out 13th and Create. And, like, they shout me out on their story. So, people, like, it's like the Khaled thing. Like, they show the whole operation. So, when people see you, they know you. Yeah. And then they come up like, yo, you do all the videos, yo, you're dope. This, and this. Obviously, everybody knows Jalil just because it's Jalil.
Yeah.
Like, he's just his own little thing. So, like, everybody's taking pictures with him. And it's, like, it's just kind of cool to, like, get acknowledgement like that.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's another level. It's a different thing at that point.
And as always, like, you know, North 13th, like, we always just make sure we under promise, over deliver. So we'll tell you we're giving you a recap video, but it looks like a short film, man.
Turns
like,
into just...
It's a vibe.
Man, I'm telling you, it's different. Like,
and then we made United Masters step their game up because they were like... Jalil told me, they were like... Well, Jalil's like asking like, yo, are you guys happy? They were like, oh my God, yeah, we're happy. We love the content. We actually had to tell our team to step it up because they were like, what do you mean you can't do a 1-minute recap the next day? Like, people don't do that.
Yeah.
People don't do that.
That quick of a turnaround, no. That's not normal.
And I'm realizing, like, damn, like, the things that we normalize aren't really normal in the space, which is, like, our unique sales proposition.
Stop snitching. All right, so, as a side note, I wanted to discuss, you don't use Spotify, which is kind of corny, but that's fine. We'll let it ride.
I should, though.
You should, because for next year, I want your Wrapped Does Apple Music do a rap?
Yeah, they do like a.
They do that?
Yeah.
Pull that up.
But how do I get that though? Like, how does it come up for Spotify?
With Spotify, literally, like when I'm in my thing,
it just like says it.
I probably can't touch it because it's gonna play freaking music.
Okay.
Yeah, but then when you touch, it's like a story, and then it goes through and it shows me like all my different stuff.
They're definitely over Apple Music.
Oh, man. Dude. I think the Wrapped is like one of the best reasons to basically have.
I always look forward to those. But now, how do I get
because
it
I'm sure you probably can. They gotta have something in there.
Yeah, they do have something. It's just about how do I get to
access it?
Yeah, like how do I even access it? Yeah. Let's like actually do this real time. Like,
see if you can find it on there.
Apple Music.
Because I finally got my Wrapped thing in. Which, by the way, I found out that I have not updated any of my apps in probably a year. I had like 100 updates on my apps. So I've like had this functionality that's just been completely just non-existent. And I was like, why am I not getting anything? I don't know what's happening. So
signing in.
Hold on, yeah. I'm going like this right now.
Hopefully this is it.
Yeah. But anyway, so I'll start off with mine. So
hang tight, your songs of the year are coming right up.
Oh, they got one on there?
Okay, keeping track of all 168 hours of music you listened to this year is hard work, so we did it. The songs you come back to in one playlist, updated weekly.
Now wait, hold on.
That's not it, right? Oh, no, it's right here.
Okay, yeah, no, hold on to that. Because for mine, so here's what's most interesting for me. I would have thought that my like overall genre of music that I listen to would have been like rap or hip hop.
Yeah,
it's country, bro.
Really?
I've given country
you been
music.
Vibing out,
dude. I ask Adriana. I have been vibing out to more country music this year than ever in my whole life, and it's because of probably two men.
Okay,
Morgan Wallen.
Yeah,
which is
I've heard of him, bro. I'm not like
his Dangerous album. I only know this because it came up on here. His Dangerous album is going to be the most listened to record of the year. It's over 3 million.
Dang.
Like, whatever, album sales in terms of plays.
That's incredible.
That Dangerous album by Morgan Wallen is the greatest like one of my favorite albums of any music, of any genre.
So is he just like straight country or is it like a different vibe?
It's definitely different. Like, it's not, like, I don't like, I don't know, like maybe older school, like country music. Because my other most listened to art, bro, it's amazing. My number one was him, number one was him. Number two is Drake, because I don't care what you say. If Drake is not one of your top 5 most listened to artists, you're a liar, or you don't listen to hip hop, rap, or any modern music. That's the only way that Drake is not in your top 5. Yeah, because it's ridiculous. Yeah. Number 3 was Luke Combs.
Okay, I've heard of him too,
bro.
Yeah,
Luke Combs is one of the greatest voices of a generation, bro. Like, if you're not listening to him...
Combs. Shout out to Luke Combs, bro.
My man just sold out MSG 2 nights in a row.
Yo, country is a big deal.
Country is a huge deal, bro. And I still, like, I've never really seen the value in it until maybe the last 2 years, but this last year I just went crazy. And I just found people that I really like.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, those two guys made up for, like, more than half of my overall music.
That's what's up.
Listening to, which is like me. Which is probably similar to you. Yeah. I'll listen to a lot of stuff, but if I like you, I'm locking in and I'm listening to everything you've ever made, from the first song that I can find to the last song. Like, I'm going crazy. Now you got yours.
Yeah.
Now go ahead. Because I'm looking at it. No surprise. If you know Brandon, what's number 1?
Drake. Yeah, Drake.
Not Home.
11 hours. 11 hours. That's not that much, though. I've seen people with like crazy numbers. I'm like, all right, I definitely don't listen to as much music, because I'm more like YouTube guy, like interviews, podcasts.
Oh, okay,
like,
okay.
Which they need to do. Like, do they do one for podcasts like that? Like, how many
on Spotify
hours?
They do. But what's stupid is I do tend to listen to podcasts more on Apple Podcasts. Gotcha. I like that platform better than Spotify.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. But yeah, so it says you've listened to 477 different artists so far. Here are your current favorites. We got Drake. Bet. I listened to 11 hours of Drake. Bet. We got my boy Gunna. Yo, I love
Gunna's number 2?
Yeah, 8 hours.
You love Gunna, bro.
Gunna is a vibe, bro.
Gunna.
Gunna's a vibe.
You love Gunna more than any person I've ever met who loves Gunna. When they say they love Gunna, no one loves Gunna more than Brandon.
Gunna is hard. He makes amazing music. Then 3 is Jay-Z, 8 hours. 4 is Young Thug, 7 hours. Then 5 is J. Cole, Lil Wayne, Nas, Young Stoner Life.
Wow.
Future and Uzi. Then Kanye, Migos.
So you're going crazy on rap.
Yeah, like I'm not.
He's like, come on, none of that corny stuff in there.
I got Wu-Tang Clan in here. Baby Keem, Nipsey Hussle.
We were talking about Baby Keem.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I listened to 312 albums. My personal top 10.
You listened to 312 albums?
Yeah. That's pretty incredible, bro.
That's so many.
So my most listened to album this year was The Off Season. J. Cole played it 86 times. 2 was
like it's the original one.
The Off Season.
Oh, the new one that just came out. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of something else. Okay.
And 2 is Slime Language 2. Hard album.
Unreal.
Certified Lover Boy. Of
course.
Gunna, Drip or Drown 2. Hard. Came out a couple years ago. Gucci Mane, So Icy Summer. I got Future and Uzi, Pluto, okay. Baby Pluto. I got Reasonable Doubt by Jay-Z.
Of course.
Wu-Tang Forever. And then Nas, King Disease 2.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man.
So you've got some real spicy stuff in there. Gucci, you know what? Mane was getting mad.
Well, I played freaking 762 God. Like I was playing, like I play songs a lot. Like not necessarily full albums, but I play songs. So it's like I can tell you like the reason J. Cole is up there because of that intro track. Like I played that so many times. Right. Same thing with Slime Language 2. That's probably because it's Ski, Certified Lover Boy. Like I love Poppy's Home. Like just certain songs that catch my interest. Like I really go crazy for.
Like bro, my number one top genre was dance pop, followed by contemporary country.
Wow.
That's crazy to me. I was like, dance pop. What? You know why?
Yeah.
Because I love BTS.
Yeah, BTS is dope. They were just somewhere, bro. I think that
they were just here.
Yeah, they were just here. They did like multiple shows though.
Yeah, like hold on, because I was gonna say I think. Okay, I listen to a ton of Joe Rogan, but only on Spotify, which is stupid. That's definitely not. Well, like that may be one of my most listened to because it's like ridiculous.
In the car, like yours are like more in the car or
no. My number one podcast, absolutely no questions asked on any platform, is Two Bears One Cave with Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura. Yeah, there's no better content on earth than that podcast. Yeah, I'm in the top 2% of listeners for Morgan Wallen. Think about that.
Dang. And man, he's a big deal.
He's a big deal, bro. I would listen to him.
So you're listening to him every day?
Bro, I listened to his album 3 times today. Wow. My top artists: Morgan Wallen, Justin Bieber, Drake, Luke Combs, John Mayer.
John Mayer.
If you are not giving John Mayer his current respect, he's still putting out amazing music,
sure.
Bro.
Yeah.
And that last Justin Bieber album was fantastic. I don't care what you say, who you are. It's a banger. So my top artists are Morgan Wallen, Justin Bieber, Drake, Luke Combs, John Mayer. I had like 30,000 minutes of listening. Sheesh. My top genre was dance pop. And my top song is from Morgan Wallen. You ever hear the song Wrong by the Kid Laroi? With Lil Mosey. Oh my God,
is pretty.
I'm so surprised that's not my number one song. And then it's all them from there.
What was my top song this year? Okay, my top song this year was Ski. Then it was 95 South. Oh, French Montana, F With Me, Get a Bag. That's my song.
I don't know if I've ever heard of that song.
What?
Is that on what song is that on?
It's on his new album he just dropped, which is really a great album too. You should listen to it.
F With Me, Get a Bag.
Yeah, FWMGAB. F With Me, Get a Bag. Okay. Crazy song. Shakira sample, so like he sampled Hips Don't Lie. So like you'll hear that. Then it's I Can Show You, Lil Uzi Vert. Super underrated song.
Yeah.
I got Baby Keem in there. Yeah, man.
Are you fucking with Baby Keem like that?
I love Baby Keem.
Wow.
I love that new album.
Okay.
But yeah, I got a lot of stuff in here, man. I'm looking at my 2020 replay, and the first song on there is Word on the Streets by Key Glock. Then it's Who Run It remix, G Herbo, Prices. Uzi.
The Who Run It remix is crazy.
Yeah, bro.
Crazy.
Prices, Uzi.
And as a side note, you know what's crazy? Which, I mean, I'm not going to say I'm the biggest fan of him, but I know him, like Young Dolph.
Yeah.
Getting killed like that, bro. You getting gunned down, killed broad daylight in the street. Like, here's what I don't understand. that means they, like, whoever's killing, like, you literally don't care. You're willing to get caught. You don't care. Yeah. There's nothing about this, like, other than just getting it done, having your name on that.
Yeah. I look at it like...
That's insane to me.
There had to be something deeper, because I feel like people...
Hold on. Here we go. Cameo.
Let's get it. What we doing?
Hey, babe, you're on the podcast.
She's on it.
Oh, all right. Because I was calling to let you know that I'm freaking hungry.
Yeah, I told you I'm gonna make the Bubba burgers. You know, we got sweet potato fries. Brandon got here a little bit ago. He's definitely looking hungry right now.
Yo, you chefing up. I always come at the right time.
Yeah.
Nathan, I know what we have in the fridge. Did you forget I do the groceries?
All right. First of all, you're not going to come on the podcast and start violating me.
She turning up.
This is crazy.
Hold on.
She turning up.
So how long do I have to wait until you make me this dinner?
We're on the second half of the podcast. Don't worry about it.
Man, you on the clock.
Oh, Art. I'll be home in like 25, 30 minutes, you know, and I'm going to be hungry.
Okay.
I need my housewife to take care of me.
Yeah, get out of here.
She put the pressure on you live.
Only because she works on Sundays, not your boy, though.
Live in 4K.
Yes. All right, babe. We'll see you soon.
All right, bye.
All right, bye.
She started turning up on you live.
She comes home hungry like a young boy.
Look, man.
But anyway, yes, that young Dolph murder is absolutely insane.
Yeah, I feel like, man, like, I look at it like, obviously it's a senseless murder, but like, what was going on behind the scenes that made somebody want to do that to you? Like, that's like I heard T.I. talk about it, and it's like, you got to be careful, man. Like, we seen it happen with Nipsey. Like, we seen it happen with too many people. Like, I know you want to be home, but it's like you're at a certain level where you could look at somebody wrong and they're going to find a reason to, like, be your op, pretty much.
I mean, this as respectfully as possible.
Yeah.
Is young Dolph on that level? Like,
he's Memphis,
hood famous.
Yeah. That's why it doesn't even matter. Rich. Like, we're not even talking about mainstream or whatever. Being hood famous is a big deal.
It's dangerous.
Meek can't come out here and just be out here. Because it's like, he's going to run into somebody he looked at the wrong way, and somebody's going to want to do something. Like, that's the same thing with young Dolph. Same thing happened to Nipsey. Mm-hmm. Like, it doesn't have to be this crazy beef that gets you hurt. It's like,
it's clout chasing to a certain extent.
And it's like, people, that's why they said you don't really get love where you come from, because there's a certain sense of, like, pride and jealousy that comes when people grow up with you and they may not be or feel like they're on the same level as you, and that creates this jealousy. So now they're looking for reasons to just hate. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why when you go all these other places and you hear artists talk about it, like Nicki Minaj always talked about how when she was coming up, like, she would get the least love in New York. Like, everywhere else would show her love, but in New York, it's like, you grow up with somebody, so then they elevate, and then there's this pride and ego, and I can't support you because that doesn't look cool. Like, Meek probably gets a lot of love outside of Philly, but when he comes to Philly, it's not the same. Like, it's weird. It's a weird dynamic, so you have to be careful. Especially, you don't have to be like a celebrity like Jay-Z and Beyonce. If young Dolph is a big deal in Memphis, he's a big deal in the culture, clearly. So you can't just move around freely out there. You need security. You need to check in. You need to say, yo, I'm pulling back up. Is everything cool? Like, all of that is important because now he lost his life. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people rocked with his music heavy. You know, same thing that happened with Nipsey. Like, he was right out in front of his store that he built. But when you get to a certain level, people are looking for any reason to just... do something bad.
I thought the coolest thing about what happened after, like, young Dolph was killed is that people realized that he owned his own masters.
Yep, that was his
like,
thing.
Okay, play his music. Like, you can really feed his family and help him forever with what he's tried to do by staying, I don't know if he was independent, but at least negotiating his own deal. Like, negotiating... owning his own records, which
big deal, man,
is a huge deal.
Yeah,
but losing something like that over whatever it was, it's stupid. Everything is stupid over losing your own life.
Yeah, senseless, man.
I was just like, wow, man.
Let me ask you this. So, like, you know, young Dolph died, but, like, obviously Virgil died, right? And I know that hit you harder. Like, it hit me, but, like, I'm not the fashion guy. So, like, I know, obviously know Virgil, but not, like, some people. Like, when he died, bro, and I looked on Instagram, it was just, like...
An outpouring.
Like, people were, like, literally, like, dedicating their whole, like, just pages of, like, words and how... Like, because I didn't really understand... I won't say I didn't understand. I understood how amazing and impactful it was for him to be the creative director of menswear for Louis Vuitton. Like, I understood what he did for Kanye, like designing album covers and overall creating the creative director for Donda. Like, I got it, but it's like you were really in that space and you like really know. So like, how did you feel?
Yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie. When Virgil died, like, that really hit me. Like, there are few people that have died, like, as a celebrity or, like, a public person that have, like, really, I've been like, wow.
Yeah.
I think people don't understand, like, or maybe they do, but, like, majority of any major trend in women's wear or menswear was orchestrated by Virgil Abloh. Like, if you want to go all the way back to, like, 808s and Heartbreak... RSVP gallery out of Chicago that started to hold like Comme des Garçons or these brands that you would see Kanye wear at the VMAs for the Runaway performance with him and Pusha T come out. Pyrex vision, Pyrex branding in general, like that original streetwear to come out of there, to transition from that to he was doing architecture or with Ye at Donda, right? Like, as you keep pushing it forward, but then like for him to transition to women's wear at Louis Vuitton, for men's wear at Louis Vuitton, like to be so diverse in all those different things, right? Creating cover art, like just mind-blowingly creative, like overwhelming. Like, you go back and listen to Kanye talk about who inspires him, and it's Virgil. Like, Virgil was dressing Ye. Now Ye may say, like, nobody dressed me, I dressed myself, da-da-da-da-da. But at the end of the day, like, you, as in Ye, were completely and utterly influenced by one person. And I think you're right, like, when you say, like, the outpouring of love, like, you can understand your impact if it's someone from Bobby Hundreds, who, if you don't know who that is, like, the Hundreds co-creator, right, with Ben, like, oh, that's a Puma collab with the Hundreds, what, right? Like, exactly, like, okay, so the Hundreds, which next to Stussy is probably the most notorious, impactful streetwear brand in history next to Supreme, but Supreme is, like, a different thing now, right? All the way from that to, like, Bella Hadid. Talking about how much she meant to you. Like, the most A1 A-list celebrity to street kids riding skateboards.
Yeah.
Not many people in life have that impact. Like, Michael Jackson doesn't have that impact. You don't talk to the kids like that, the bottom of the gutter street culture where no one's a part of mass society, to the cover of Vogue.
Facts.
To have that ability to flex back and forth between those worlds and be overwhelmingly respected in every field, from NBA players to women's roller derby. Like, come on.
Yeah.
And I think that, more importantly, it's also that effect where, I don't know, obviously, like, living a public life like that is one thing, but it kind of hit me the same way when, like, Chadwick Boseman died, right? Like, people who took their craft and understanding how impactful it is for the culture, how much people need it and desire it and want it, so you keep it a secret and you never stop working, you never stop producing, you always bring, if anything, better and better and better product. Like, Chadwick Boseman was dying when he was making the Black Panther. He had cancer at that point. Like, and then you pass because you want to keep it public. But Virgil was working up until the time that he died, where you can be in Miami at Art Basel and there's a show of his product walking down the runway.
Yeah. It's prolific.
It's prolific, bro. Yeah. Like, there's really not people like that in the world. Like, people who can flex to that extent, like, show that much diversity in what they create. And that's why, for me, like, if you do follow me and you see my story, like, I put him above Ye. Because I know that anything that I saw Kanye wearing at the time where I was getting inspired by Kanye was because he had influence from Virgil. Like, that is crazy. Like, who's bigger than Kanye?
So what about, so when you talk about dressing, right, or fits, like, what about Virgil's fits made you feel like it was just like A1? Like, what about the aesthetic?
I think when I saw people like Kid Cudi in an off-white dress for men,
yeah,
make different. A public appearance, struggle with anxiety, struggle with depression, struggle with drug addiction, and still feel like I'm getting a fit off right now because I know this is hard.
Yeah.
I think it gave me, like, looking at what I wanted was, okay, here's why I love Virgil, is because I saw this little clip of an interview that came out after he passed. And it was that Off-White is for two different things, right? Off-White is marketed and sold at a certain price for a certain demographic, which now is me, right? I could buy Off-White if I wanted to. But if you don't, it inspires someone to make something better, make a different thing. And I think that the community of people that I was with throughout college, or even like a few years ago, even into now, like if something really catches my attention, is he's absolutely right. If I didn't want to buy the Off-White thing, I could find something that someone made out of inspiration or some other form of like creative influence, and I can go support that. And that's what Virgil cared about. It was like, if you're not going to buy what I want, then you're going to look at it and say, I'm going to make something better and I'm going to sell that. Yeah. And I have bought more stuff off of people like Warren Lotus, for example, who, I'm buying $300 hoodies, which is ridiculous. But an Off-White hoodie is $1,000. Like, there is a difference in that. And
what makes it,
I would rather give it to that smaller creator.
Though? Like just like from a business standpoint, because it's like the Off-White hoodie is just like I came across like a lecture he was giving at Harvard, and he was like,
his the original one,
the original Pyrex hoodies was just screen printed. It was just like a regular hoodie screen printed on the back with like the artwork, and that was it. But like, what makes it $1,000? Just like,
I think it's just what the market will bear.
Yeah,
you know, I think that like anything, if something pops and you're Brandon Cornelius, you're with all the big stars, you're in front of the cameras, you do this and that, like, of course, people are just going to buy it because it's popular.
Right.
And that's what happened with Pyrex, right? Ye wears Pyrex on the VMAs after probably coming back from one of the most controversial moments of his Taylor Swift days.
So
starts to do the Runaway thing.
That was the Runaway? He was wearing Pyrex?
I think he
was
in the
all red?
I think that was the Yeezy 2s, right? His last thing with Nike. But hold on,
because I thought Pyrex was like 2012, right? Like, because I remember ASAP was wearing it in Peso.
Hold on. Oh yeah, of course, yeah. ASAP Rocky is huge. I forgot about that. But I'm trying to see on here. Damn, regardless, Yeezy Pyrex. Hold on, VMAs. It was something like this, because I just remember him being in the all Pyrex and watching him on TV.
Maybe it was like Yeezus.
Oh, it was the 2013
Yeezus. Yeah, I would say Yeezus. Yeah, because that was around that time. Because like ASAP had it on in Peso, right? That's when I first saw it. Was when ASAP had it. Then I would see the hoodies because I seen Hov wear it, like. And it would say Pyrex on the back with the Off-White sign. Yeah. So that's when I first saw it, like around that time.
Yeah. So, right, I think something like that, obviously he's smart, where he's gonna play his cards right and put it on someone like Ye, who's gonna wear it in front of the world. It's gonna be huge. ASAP Rocky wears it. He's one of the biggest upcoming underground rappers at that time. But to answer your question, I mean, of course, is it worth it? No. There's no such thing as a $300 hoodie that's worth it. It's not a $1,000 pair of shoes that's worth it. It's just ridiculous. Yeah. But I think what you are paying for is the quality. Like, he does make amazing clothing. And if you have ever gotten to wear something that has been a part of his collections or that he's made, even the smaller creators, like I said, that I would, pay to give money to, they're fantastic quality of clothing. And I think he elevated that standard for people. But I think for me, the reason I really respected him was because when you saw people like Young Thug wear dresses on album covers as a straight male rapper talking about getting pussy.
Yeah. He broke
That's boundaries. Weird, right? That's weird. That's not what you see every day. But someone like Virgil could give those guys the positive influence, the power to cross barriers and do something like that you didn't get to see every single day.
Facts.
And honestly, I just think you understand this. Being creative is really hard. Mm-hmm. And then when you make it your job, it's even harder because you have to be obsessed with it. You can't even love it anymore. Mm-hmm. You have to want it to be the greatest thing that you make over and over and over again. It's really easy to be creative as a hobby. It's really hard to be creative as your job.
Yeah.
Stop snitching.
What you just said was crazy because I never thought about it like that. Like, being creative as your job, it's definitely draining. Like, I know we talked earlier about the schedule that I had this weekend in terms of like shooting, editing. I personally don't like it because, like, with where we're at in social media and everything needing to be quick, you don't really get time to like really sit with anything. It's just this, like, you do this, then it's to the next one. Like, you never get time to like sit with it like a movie and a documentary. Movies take like years to make. And then it's like, we see, Spider-Man's about to come out. I'm sure that's going to be amazing because they took the time to like really craft it. Mm-hmm. It went through different drafts and edits and feedback and opinions here, like, I'm sure they had to do reshoots. Like, great art takes time. And when you're creative for a living in this specific space where it's like, it's the fast turnaround time and to make it dope, like, that's really hard and it's really draining. Like, a lot of times, bro, like, I'll be done a video and like I'll just be drained because it doesn't seem like a lot, like you're sitting at a laptop, but it's like you got to factor in the mental power, mental energy, physical energy, spiritual energy, because you're putting yourself into this video. Like, this is the music I want, this is how it feels. Like, all of that takes energy. And to do what we did this weekend, it's not easy at all. And there's times when I'm like, dang, I wish there was times where I could just like kind of sit with pieces more instead of just having to like be like this. But it's definitely hard. But it's like you said, like, you got to be obsessed with it and you just got to kind of embrace it at the end of the day. Just like anything else, it's like people work their job. You're not going to always like it. Like,
Of course. Yeah, you're right. I think that's like a huge misconception is that you would do something like this or do something like what you do or do what Virgil does. And it's so easy. And like, because you're creative and it's just like creative outlets for you. And that
it's different.
And I think that, to a certain point, once again, why I think Virgil is so influential is that you are not creating for yourself at that level anymore. You're creating for entire groups of people, genders that you're trying to influence. Like, you're thinking about things at such a massive scale, and you have to bring all that down to one garment.
Yeah.
Right? You have to create a video that is going to reach and impact, or at least entice, thousands of people. None of those people are the same people.
Yeah.
So what is it? What is the thing that you're going to do that's going to make all these people want to watch this thing? Yeah. And you don't think about that because it's subconscious at that point, right? This is the Brandon effect. This is the type of product that I bring. That's why you hire me. You're not thinking about it like that. But I do think, to a certain extent, when you get higher and higher and higher and higher, which I'm sure you will, you get to that point where you will not be the guy with the camera anymore.
Yeah.
You're going to have to find people who can make that happen.
Yeah.
And Virgil's not in there sewing skirts.
Yeah.
But he has to be able to convey what he wants and quality check that product over and over and over again. Yeah. And then through mass production for the biggest brands in the world and get millionaire celebrities to enjoy it and get a 16-year-old to save up all their Christmas money to buy one t-shirt from it.
Right.
Those are two very different people.
Right.
And for all of those people to be impacted by something like that is why when Steven Spielberg dies, it's going to be such a historic, impactful thing. Because you're getting every actor that he's ever worked with who's now a bajillionaire.
Yeah.
And you and me, who's like, wow, go watch E.T. again. Like, to get all those different groups of people to be into something, I don't think most presidents get to do that. I don't think most parents get to do that, even with their own children. Like, these are super, super unique individual people that have the ability to touch all different sorts of people in different cultures, different age groups, demographics, bring all of them together because they can create something.
Yeah. Man, that's the thing about being creative is like,
it seems impossible.
Yeah, you literally giving your energy to the product, and you have to think about, so like when I'm creating this weekend, I'm not just doing what I think is cool. Like, I'm doing what I think is cool, but not 100%, because I'm like, all right, well, what does United Masters think? What does this think? All right, what are the women gonna think? What are the men gonna think? Is this too much? Is it not too much? Like, you constantly go through those battles because you want as many people as possible to like what you did. You know what I'm saying? Which happens just because, you know, people like whatever I do. Or Steven Spielberg, people like whatever he does. But it's like, you rack your brain with like so many different concepts and ways of thinking and try to cater to everybody, and you'll never be able to, but like, that's what goes in your mind because you want to reach as many people, and that's draining, bro. It's like, that's why I said, like, I was supposed to come here at 3, but I just ended up crashing because I was just like, it finally caught up to me. You know, I had a plane 6 o'clock this morning, got in at like 9, went to church, came back from church, finished the video, and then I just crashed finally for like an hour. You know what I'm saying? Yep. But it's like, it finally just hit me like, you did a lot this weekend. Between physically shooting, so that like physically holding a camera, physically walking around, physically like dipping and dodging between 400 people, like saying, excuse me, that's energy. You know what I'm saying? Like mental energy, like, you know, we have a team, so making sure the photographer's getting the pictures, making sure our other video guys getting what he needs to get, making sure the EYL guys are good. Jalil's making sure the United Masters people are good. Like, energy. Then to now do that for 8 hours, right? Then to go to the hotel and then have to like quickly turn that into like going to the laptop and producing something really dope. Not just like putting shots together, but like thought out, from the music choices to like what shots to put in certain areas, what sound bites to use in this hour-long interview that I now have to dissect into 1 minute. What are the bites that Khaled said that are going to be impactful but also add to the story? And I need to go through that whole thing, you know what I'm saying, and then put it out and then do the same thing the next day.
Yep.
So it's like, you know, like, it's like you said, like, people are like, yo, in 2 years, you're not even going to hold a camera. And it's hard for me to believe it because it's like, I've only always held a camera. But I get what they're saying because there comes a point in time where it's like, sometimes it's just better to take out the physical grunt of the work in terms of, like, actually physically doing it and just lend out ideas. And that's one thing that, and I encourage everybody to watch that Virgil lecture at Harvard because he talks about how, well, one of his colleagues talks about how they executed a huge project through text message. Because Virgil is like a master communicator. Even through text, he's very, very, very specific about what he wants. So it's to the point where I don't even need to be on the phone with you. I can just communicate it through words. WhatsApp, like Virgil said, WhatsApp was like everything. Like, he created the Prestos on WhatsApp. Like, he just did it. You know what I'm saying? So just being a master communicator is beneficial in any area of life, by the way. If you're a master communicator, you could be successful at anything. Being able to convey your thoughts effectively to people to get them to then produce it the way that you want to produce it. That's the making of any successful any successful boss in any way. So yeah, I could definitely see it. It's hard because I always feel like I'm going to want to shoot just because I like shooting and putting it together. And my favorite part about it is when people like text me like, yo, this was amazing, fire emojis. Like that's my favorite part. Just like the reaction that people get from watching this thing that you put your all into. Like that's what I do it for. And I'm sure that's what Virgil did it for too. Just like, it's like you said, like, you know, him putting his all into like, you know, the Louis Vuitton shows. Like I think the one that stands out was when there was just that long walkway and it was like rainbow colors and he saw Kanye, like, and it just hit him in that moment like, dang, I really just did this. You know, like I'm sure like in that moment it's like unexplainable because you put in so much work to please so many different people and it's still going to be scrutinized and criticized, but like overall it's like whenever you go into something and you genuinely put all of your positive energy into it, it's always going to be received well because people can feel that. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, it's definitely tough being creative for a job, but it's also very rewarding because of the reactions that you get. People really are impacted by what you created. You know what I'm saying? I posted on Instagram for the first time last week or whatever in a while and like got a lot of love. And I said something like, I'd rather something about playing. Yeah, let's play it. It's like something about.
What, this is on your personal page?
Yeah, on the last Instagram post that I did. It was something about playing your role or whatever.
Playing your role on a winning team is better than being the star on a losing one.
Yeah. Hard, by the way. That's a hard caption. Come on, we can't even lie. That's hard.
He's like, you see it.
That's hard.
You see it.
Playing your role on the winning team is better than being the star on a losing one. Because basically, it's like when you're a creative, a lot of times you get looked over. And shout out to Ian Dunlap, the master investor, because we were having this conversation. And he was like, yo, creatives are the reason why these brands are who they are. Yet creatives never have equity in anything. Yet the brand wouldn't be popping if somebody didn't put together a fire piece of content to make it look like that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like Virgil should have equity in Louis Vuitton because he's the one that's bringing it to the inner cities and all of that. Yeah. Louis Vuitton now has social equity because of Virgil Abloh. We gotta be real, but he doesn't have equity in it. You know what I'm saying?
Do you know like that for a fact?
You think he has equity in Louis Vuitton?
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Equity like that, right?
Yeah, so, you know what I'm saying?
Own a percentage.
Even if he had 1%, that's amazing. It's Louis Vuitton. It's going to be around forever. It's a luxury brand.
I hope he does, man.
Like, I hope so too, but that's the problem. It's like, it's not, you don't know. Like, that should be like, people that are creating the wave and really putting money in these brands' pockets, they should have ownership in that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's the tough part about being a creative is like you get looked over even though you're probably the most important asset to the thing. Because it's one thing for Louis Vuitton to say that they're doing a spring 2022 collection. It's another thing to see it in that way and have people gravitate to it that then makes them buy the collection. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like one of the trade-offs of being creative. But I mean, the good thing about like our situation is like it's a partnership between us and EYL. It's not like we work for EYL. It's like, nah, like we own our own content too. So if I wanted to we were just at the Apollo, right? They sold out the Apollo Theater, 2-minute video that was great. We could take that and repurpose it and sell it one day as an NFT or like whatever. Like we have access to that. We probably wouldn't be able to do that with Louis Vuitton because it's like once it's theirs, it's theirs.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So there's a reward in, you know, being able to choose the people that you decide to work with, because if there's a mutual exchange of, hey, we're going to provide you this content that we know elevates your brand, but it also elevates us because, one, we get the social clout of it, but we also own it. You know, we could do whatever we want. It's not because we gave it to you, we can't post it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the trade-off. But all that to say, like, it's a big deal to, like, just do it as a job. I never looked at it like that, but it is. It's like, this is how I make money. Oh, she here?
Okay. Oh, snap. Yeah.
Yo. Oh, my God.
I know you can't see her from there.
Yo. Oh, snap. Yo, I just saw glasses, bro. But yeah, man, that sparked the whole thing. Because I never heard of it like that. Like, I've never heard of, like, the difference between being creative as a hobby and doing it as your actual thing, and what that actually means.
But I'm just here to drop gems, bro.
Yo, that was a gem.
I'm just here to drop gems, bro.
That was a gem.
So, going forward.
We got a guest.
No, there's no way.
That's upstairs.
I think so. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
gems have been dropped.
Yeah.
I was gonna leave it where I want to start to have us week by week, and we can talk about this. Where like, not like an opening monologue, where like you come in with your thing, you want to talk about, and then I'm gonna come in with my thing that I want to close on.
Got you.
We can go back and forth on that. I was gonna give you the floor without telling you to close, but I think that was the close right there. Unless you feel like you got something else you want to drop on the people.
The only thing I was going to say is, again, like, watch the Virgil thing. It's like an hour.
Yes.
It's like an hour. But the one thing...
Well, you know what, in this episode, throw the link. Or I'll put the link in there when we post it for something like that.
Incredible, bro. Because it's like, it's not polished, but it's raw, but it's totally just him. You know what I'm saying? And he said something that resonated. He was like, I only believe in editing 3%. And I was like, he said that, and I'm like, what does that mean? But he was like, when they did the Nike Presto, it wasn't this big, like, operation. Like, they kind of sat in a room, they were playing around, they flipped something, and then Virgil was like, yeah, that's it. It wasn't even done. He was just like, yeah, that's it. Because he believes in the rawness of the product. Like, the product's already good. We're just adding our little sprinkles into it to make it a little more unique, but not too much. And that's how I approach videos. It's like, when I shoot videos and I edit it, I'm not like changing this here and changing this here. Like, if it's there, it's there. And it's a reason that I put it there, and I'm not going to tweak it too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to over edit something. It was already dope. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because I planned it out beforehand, and I put it on my timeline, and I ordered it in this way, and that's what it's going to be. So I'm like, I'm not a perfectionist in that way. Like, I'm not like, it has to be this and this. I'm like, I'm very much like, leave it up to interpretation. I'm very much like, mistakes are cool.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I've always said my personal brand is good enough.
Yep.
I'm not chasing perfection, because you will never finish anything.
What is perfection?
People who chase perfection, I can't stand.
Yeah.
It's people I can't be around.
Yeah.
Because you're so caught up in trying to make something perfect that you'll never release anything.
Yep.
So let me end it with this.
Yep.
I think this is very important for anybody in any sort of creative or business aspect. I work a 9-to-5, Brandon doesn't. But both of us have equity in the thing that we do, in the sense that when I grow my business, I make more money.
Yeah.
I am in control of that. It's my power. I can be as great or as not great as I want to be on any given day, and understand that that impacts me as well as my team. So I'm always trying to bring the best every single day, because it influences my personal brand, my money, other people's money, my future, other people's future. If you are for real, hardcore real about your ability to be great, and you think that you can bring that to something else and influence other people, then you're going to get yourself in a position like that where everything's on the line every single day, because you know that you're going to produce. And you know that if you're not producing, then you're going to work harder to produce better in the future.
Yeah.
And you don't have to do that. That's a very cutthroat lifestyle, but it motivates me. I think it motivates you. Mm-hmm. So if you want that, if you want to grow, you want to be that person that's pushing for better and better and better. Not perfect, but better.
Right. Yeah, that's the key.
Then get yourself in a situation where at least the effort that you bring every day can make you more of whatever it is that you want.
Facts.
If you don't want that, then find something that's going to be more consistent and more convenient. There are jobs out there. I'm the first one to say, there's a trash man for a reason. And by the way, that trash man makes 6 figures.
That's a fact.
So find what you want to do. But if you're really ready to push it, put your own dollars on the line.
Independence, man. That's the way to anything. That's the way to anything. And I would just say, lastly, like you said, don't chase perfection. Be okay with being good. And like you said, being good enough is okay, because you're not going to be perfect all the time. Actually, you're never going to be perfect. Mm-hmm. You're not always going to be great. There's times when you go into the job and you're killing it, and there's times when you're not, and you have to be okay with that process. So just keep going, man. Just keep making yourself happy at the end of the day, so you could be like Virgil one day.
Thank you for listening to the Stop Snitching podcast. It's a wrap. Thank you for watching, listening, subscribing, liking, everything like that. Once again, this is episode maybe
24, 25.
24, it's just something like that. Who cares about the number at this point?
Yeah.
All right, B.
All right.
Stop snitching.